I'm Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations. I started something a couple days ago, and it was something that I just wanted to try. Not sure if it was going to work or anything like that, but I started it, and I'm at the point where I think it's going to work. So I want to show you what I started. I started a pinecone wreath, not the type of pinecone wreath you're thinking. I'm not using a real pinecone or anything like that. I am using the same kind of poly burlap mesh that you use in like the sunflowers. Okay, so I'm trying to make one large pine cone. I think that would be adorable for winter. For winter, for Christmas, just something a little different. So I wanted to show you how I got to this point, okay? Because I think this is actually kind of cute so far. But, so how I got to this point, I have this, one of these 14 inches from Dollar Tree. One of these just a round wreath form. And I'm going to do it for you. Hopefully it works. I bent it, just squeezed it into an oval shape. Now, you can see like, oh, this one didn't work. That came off. But you know what you can do? You can wire it back on just to get it to go into an oval shape. The other one worked just fine. Show you the back of this wreath. Okay, see how it's an oval shape? Over here, the wire did come undone, like where the wires meet. I just took some tape, some packing tape. You could use, I'm sure you could use duct tape and just, taped it back together. I also kind of had to make sure it was even again, like on the bottom and stuff like that, so it's straight and all that fun stuff. Okay. Then what I did, I cut out this, I got it down here, this plastic mesh I got from Joann's. Okay. It's the 5 mesh, not the 7 mesh. And what I did, I just cut out the oval shape from there. I just traced it and then cut it out. Nice and simple. And then I just used my little 4-inch zip ties, zip tied it on. Okay, that's where I started. Then from there, I used my cutting mat. It has like the little inches on it and stuff like that, okay? And from the very bottom here, I went up 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay, just made lines because that's where I decided I wanted to put my zip ties to tie these petals on. So I'm going to show you how I made the petals. And I apologize, I know there's a reflection of the light up above me, but I tried to turn that off and you just can't see very well at all. So first of all, I'm showing you, it's a 10-inch poly burlap. This is in cream, and I cut this at 10 inches. And I'm using this, you can see, I'm trying to get it up close. I'm using a chisel tip on a wood burning tool. And I'm going to cut that right at the 10-inch mark. And I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 just because I kind of have to show you why I am doing things the way I am, because I'm just a little particular about certain things. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways I make these petals, because they're going to look different on each side of this, of the wreath. And I'll show you here in just a little bit. Okay, now for this brown. This is the, there's a chocolate and then there's the milk chocolate. This is the chocolate. It's a darker brown. I am cutting at an inch or 10.5 inches. Now I learned how to make kind of this petal from watching Julie's Wreath Boutique. I love her. I love watching her. I stalk her channel, stalk her YouTube channel. And, you know, she's got some great ideas. So I'm taking actually 2 different ideas from her and melding it into one. Here is this 10.5 inch on a 10-inch roll. Okay, I cut it at 10.5. So you can see I have this going from side to side. I'm going to bring it over this way so it's kind of even here at the bottom, and I'm going to have just about 1/2 inch left over here. Okay, hopefully you can see this close enough. But I am going to cut this here, and it's going to fuse together. I'm going to cut right along where that finished edge is, and it's going to fuse with the mesh underneath it. Okay. So you can see that that is fused together. I'm going to show you another way. Now I had it left to right. Now I have it up and down, and I'm going to do the same thing, but now instead of having the finished side on top, the unfinished side, the cut side, is going to be on top. And again, I'm going to try to make it as even as I can here at the bottom. And I have, again, about 1/2 inch hanging over before I have the finished side underneath. And hopefully you can see that finished side. I'm trying to make it as visible as possible for you. And I'm going to cut through again and fuse these together. Okay, so, and you know what, a little bit of this is showing, and I don't want that showing because this point is where it's really going to be seen more than anything else. So I'm going to kind of cut that off, and in the meantime I'll just maybe fuse it with what's underneath it. Okay, so now you can see this is fused together. And I have one triangle here. I have this triangle with the finished side on the top over here. And then I have another triangle with the finished side on top over here. The only reason I'm doing this is because I am so picky. You probably don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I am doing it. So now we have just this cut at 10 inches. Now see, I have the finished edge up here to my upper right. I'm just going to cut straight through the middle from one corner to the next. Okay, so we have 2 pieces. Now that will be like this, where the finished edge is to the right. And that will go with this one that has the finished edge to the right. And I'll show you here in a second. But in the meantime, I'm going to do this now with the finished edge to my upper left. Do the same thing. I'm going to cut from one corner to the other. And this matches that where the finished edge is on over to the left. Okay? Now, this is why I'm doing this, okay? I'm going to grab a couple more. I got some zip ties, okay? Now, you probably only want maybe a quarter of an inch showing here, because once we scrunch this up, it's going to turn into about a ½ inch. So I am going to kind of turn this under and scrunch. Kind of turn this under and scrunch. And zip tie. Now I'm going to kind of make this, kind of turn this in, and you can see, I'm going to put this a little closer. You can kind of see there's like about a ½ inch of that cream showing underneath. Okay. Now I'm going to do this with the other. Now I've made a whole bunch of these before I started this. And like, if you saw what I did in the very beginning, I already have a lot done of this wreath, but I just kind of wanted to show you kind of what I did so far and where I am going with this. Okay. Take the zip tie. Needless to say, we need a lot of zip ties. Okay. And there we go. Now, out of these, you can see I have one petal with the finished side to my left. Then I have another petal with the finished side to my right. And again, the reason I doubled up that brown because I wanted to make sure it looked brown. If I did not double it, that cream showed through entirely too much. I have 8 more petals. I think, fingers crossed, that should be enough. I do need to do one more brown because I think what I'm going to have to do some kind of a stem at the top. So where is my brown? I'm going to do one more brown so I can, like, again, to use as a stem. And I'm just going to make this 10 inches. This is what I got done so far with that pine cone. And again, I'm showing you again, I already did the, like from the 2-inch mark from here, I have one at the bottom. I did 2 on either side up at the 2-inch mark. Then 2 inches further up, I did 3 going across. The next one up, I ended up using 1 on one of the rings. And then we got, 4 going across. And then we have 5 going across, going further up. Right. So I'm going to stick with this line, and I'm just going to go in to this 3rd ring from the outside. And again, if it looks a little distorted to you, it is because I squeezed that like a round form to be shaped into an oval form. So it is a little bit distorted, but it still works. And see, I have this finished side on this outside. And then I am going to put one over here where the finished side is over here. That's why I did them differently on each each one. Okay, so I'm going to put this over on this side. Then I will go in, and again, since this one has one in the middle, I'm going to kind of go on either side of that. So kind of right in between. And again, I'm going to have the finished side on this side, since it's on my left side. Okay, so, and these zip ties that I'm using. These are just like they're the lightweight ones, like the 18 pounds. So they work great. This is going to go on the second row from the outside. For this stem, what I'm going to do, kind of take it down, kind of make it in thirds. Like this bottom third is not going to have anything at all, and then this is doubled. And I'm just going to kind of roll it. Okay, that's going to be my stem. What I'm going to do, I got a couple 4-inch zip ties. It would be great if I had like brown or black zip ties. Then I'm going to take it through and kind of zip tie it to itself. Same thing with this down here, kind of. I'm going to do it a couple times, going on down, and get it to zip tie to itself. That way it stays together. Of course, I'm going to try to keep this to the back. I don't want anybody seeing the zip ties from the front. Down here, the crossbar, and then there's this third ring here. I'm kind of going to go like that so it stays in place there. So now we got all these zip ties that are still showing. That's why I'm going to use pine. Okay. What do you guys think? There you go. I got a pine cone, right? I'm kind of excited about this. Something completely different. And that's what I wanted to do. Something different that nobody else has done, and I did it. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you guys later.